What's going on, y'all? Boy, y'all Link Jr. here. So, suburban motivation versus hood motivation. Let's start off with the hood. In the hood, individual, you live in an urban community. You want your motivation is to get out. If you were in the right mind state, and it could be due to education. It could due to your motivation. You want to, just have good access of water. You want to just not be a product of your environment because you hear gunshots, you hear police sirens, you hear all these things on a day-to-day basis. And then on top of that too, might have squatters that comes in and lives next to you, and all these simple things that's just annoying, man. You come home from work, people in your business, it's just loud, and you just want a peace, stable mind, and you thinking that, man, I need to get away. I need something that's gonna give me in the right state of mind, something that's peaceful, something I can see beautiful animals, I can see green grass. I mean, it's just better overall. You don't have to worry about, excuse me, I just had something to eat, but you don't have to worry about chemtrails that's controlling the atmosphere and your emotions. Not too many fights, people killing each other, robbing each other on a day-to-day basis. Now, don't get me wrong, in the suburbs and the outskirts of the urban communities, you may have experienced some type of crime, but it's not as severe compared to the hood. And so, you have, people like celebrities, man, and the people who states that, like, in order to be successful, if you having money, you got to get out. You can be a lottery winner, and then they show your face on there. You got to hurry up and move and go to a safe neighborhood. You can't even live amongst your own people. And on top of that too, you want to get away too. A lot of people want to get away from the hoods, and it's a simple fact they want their children to have the best education. Because the education system, man. I mean, only they're not paying teachers a lot money that they should, but on top of that, the people who's running the board of education is not teaching their children the real history. So therefore, they just walking around life with no type of identity. They're lost, and it could be bullying. It just can be lack of access to opportunities. You want a new job, many things, man, that you're lacking compared to the outskirts of a state that you live in. And that's can help you and help you get a motivation. Like, I'm gonna succeed in school when you go away. I'm gonna succeed and get this business. I'm gonna have 2 or 3 jobs. I'm gonna move my children out of this environment so we can live in a nice house. And that's your motivation to keep going. You get what I'm saying? And you thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. Now, compared to the suburbs, me, because I have both of both worlds. I'm sorry, I live in both two worlds, man. I have the suburban. I lived in the hood. I grew up in the hood for like 9 years of my life. Actually, some decent areas in the hood. Then my parents decided to take me upon themselves to help us out. And, they want my sister and I to have a great education. So they sacrificed and let's live in Farmington Hills, Michigan, which is a suburban area. And therefore, I was involved, in the school. I was involved in concert orchestra. I was in symphony orchestra. I learned how to play an instrument. I mean, I was in track and field, cross country. I met a lot of white people, man, which they were cool. There was some racist people there too, but I get into that in a minute. But for the most part, man, I actually found my independence. I felt welcome. I felt like a human being. I felt like this is what life is supposed to be about. I had to worry about gunshots. I didn't really have to worry about locking our doors, even though we still did it because we coming from Detroit. But it was just a different mind state. And that motivation, my parents was like, listen, my child, I was diagnosed with ADHD. They said couldn't be anything. I couldn't really, just focus in school. It was, kids used to pick on me. It was just a lot of things that was going on with me internally, and I had a low self-esteem, and I was contemplating on committing suicide. But until then, I'm glad my parents, made a right necessary move for me to actually experience a little bit things in life, man. I was able to just, go past email, go, just live amongst other people and be exposed to different races of people and diverse groups, man, which was a beautiful thing, man. Just travel all over, get to experience the whole state almost. I want to say I pretty much went to explore at least 80% of Michigan, man. And that was a blessing. I just think that if I would have stayed in Detroit, probably a little difficult to me. I probably would have a different perspective on things, man. But that was the motivation in the hood. If you even live in the suburbs, shout out to my boy Corey, man. He was just saying that you get bored a lot. You think everything is given to you. You living in the suburbs, your parents have a nice house and stuff. Your parents are professors and all that stuff and making good money, and you looking like, okay, well, I'm trying to do something with my life, or what I'm trying to figure things out, and you thinking like, man, like, what's the point of me living here? Even though this is a nice neighborhood, but nothing's popping, it's nothing going on. I haven't been through anything, so I really don't have an incentive or a motivation to actually be successful. And so you just go through the motions of life. If you need some money, your parents got it. You got access to the best schools. You start to pretty much take little things for granted. I'm not saying everyone who lives in the suburbs take things for granted, but I'm just saying for the most part, you come to a depression mode. And I think this is why we have a lot of opioids, opioid epidemic in the white neighborhoods. I mean, because the kids are depressed. I mean, kids don't have nothing to do. They feel like, I mean, I knew some kids that was from Grosse Pointe, bro, and that's a nice neighborhood after downtown Detroit. They lived in Grosse Pointe, rich area. Come to Detroit to get drugs from Detroit and smoke the drugs all the way back in their hometown. It's like y'all would get the supply from the hood. Y'all won't live amongst them. You won't conversate with them. You just get the drugs here so you can support your drug habit and go back and living comfortable. It's just kind of crazy to me like that, man. I mean, at the end of the day, the people in the suburban kids, they trying to emulate, the hood mentality a little bit, try to, dress backwards, wear their hat a little backwards, try to sag their pants and stuff like that, man, and listen to all this, this music and everything that the people from the hood makes, and they want to be just like them. It's like, at the same time, they feel like they're missing something. I think this is why, a lot of young kids, rich kids, they kind of experiment on drugs, because they just curious. They like, their parents probably shelter them from a lot of these things, and then they don't know what's the negative side effects of it. They probably know, probably in the book, but at the same time, they want to experience it. As human beings, we are simply very curious on a lot of stuff. And I just think that, when you grow up in the suburbs and most of your life, if you don't have a chance to go into the hood and actually understand, what these people are going through, and they trying to be in your shoes, yeah, you're going to take a lot for granted. I just want to say, like, the best suggestion is to travel, go to a third world country, see how they live. And then, you be like, okay, instead of putting yourself in that predicament to ruin your life, picking up a drug habit, have alcoholism, all these things that's unnecessary because you feel like you haven't gone through anything. So I just think that, as suburban kids, they have a different motivation. They probably motivation like, what, I'm investing back into the community. I'm gonna go back, because you got some successful black people, they become successful to the point that they feel like they don't need to give back to their community, and so they just live amongst other people. And I just think that's a little selfish mentality. But as you can see, people from the hood, that wants to better themselves, they strive to do those things. They strive to go into the suburbs and go and just be peaceful so they can live life normally. They don't have to worry about people breaking into their homes. They don't have to worry about, just the school system is not, training their kids to be successful in life, man, to go to college and all these things, man. They don't have to worry about these fake diagnoses, ADD, ADHD on their children, man, so the government can make more money off of them. It's just kind of dumb, man. So at the same time, man, I mean, this is pretty much one of the motivations of people from the hood that lives in the ghetto wants to make it. They want to strive for greatness. And I just want to say a lot of suburban people maybe have the mentality like, okay, if they don't know any better, not saying all, those who don't know any better are curious. They was like, okay, why are people living like this? Let me just do what they do. Let me, I mean, I think that's, I want to say that probably me living in 12 years of my life in the suburbs, the only bad thing I probably heard is with this one dude. I'm not gonna say his name, but he got upset, and it was all over the news, man. And he grabbed a bat and he beat his stepfather to death with a bat. And he was running away. I think they finally caught him, of course, and he was serving life. But that was pretty much the only bad thing. It really wasn't too much shootings. It was just kind of peaceful. And, you kind of started forgetting about the people that you left behind because you feel like you live in this more peaceful life. It's like a huge illusion at the same time. But I kind of want to make this video on this, like the hood mentality and the suburban mentality. But that's just kind of is how it is right now. If you guys don't know nothing about me, there's a little background about me. But no, but it's I kind of understand though, for people who wants to, just, get out the hood. Because, I mean, at the same time, yeah, you get sick of hearing about these things. You get sick of hearing people, just complaining about things. The government's not giving them this and that. And, you go to people that's responsible, no crabs in a barrel type of mentality. You might be surrounded with people that has money or that's want to invest in your dream. So it could be many reasons. But I just think this is like, since I got the best of both worlds, I just think this is like one of the two mentalities of the people who grew up in the hood and grew up in the suburbs, and they're incentive to do better. in life. But everyone has to go through things. That's why I believe in the book of James. It says, have faith in everything. When you go to trials of many kinds, it's a testing your faith and perseverance. I mean, that stuff is really true. But that's just me. That's just how I feel. You guys continue to like, comment, subscribe. Tell you guys how you feel about this, though. But I just had a good discussion with my boy about this, man, yesterday. So it came to my mind. I'm gonna talk about it. But yeah, I love you guys, man. You guys continue to like, comment, subscribe, man. You guys in the suburbs, you probably know what I like. I understand it can be boring at times, but listen, have a goal, have a dream, surround yourself with good people, and you will make it, man. I mean, it's nothing. You're not missing anything living in the hood, bro. Now, don't get me wrong. I really want to say is that you should take a trip down there, and if you got family members and stuff like that, if you want to get to more public community services, that would be a great thing. Instead of you just say, I'm just curious, let me smoke, let me drink. Like, no, you don't have to subject yourself to those things, So I just say get more involved into public affairs, stuff like that, community development, all these things, man, to help others, man, that's less fortunate. People in the hood, once you make it into the suburbs, which is cool, I understand your mentality in that, give back if you can, financially, spiritually, or mentally, and mentor to those kids that needs it, man. So those are the things, man. But that's all I have to say, man. You guys can like, comment, subscribe. I'm out. Deuces.